just have to come up with a few things on desk, and it's, you know, it's all good. But here we go. I think we're headed into it. Gibraltar, it is third and final map. Excited to watch this one play out. These guys have been a very entertaining game for us, and it will be Luminosity to start us off. On the offensive side, FaZe will be your defending team. And in case anybody is just joining in with us to catch this third and final map, FaZe have swapped out Too Easy, is no longer on the active roster of FaZe Clan. And Mikey A, or MGE Mike, as he is known to some, has swapped in for him to play kind of through what I'm guessing is a bit of a trial period of FaZe. And he's been playing pretty well so far for them. And this time he is playing on the Roadhog to get it kicked off. And Forsaken's just going to take a little bit of a chill, a little bit of a rest. He's had a grueling game so far off the start. And there's the old Tommy Cat. That's what I was told to call him, the old Tommy Cat. Here on Gibraltar.
I'm so confused why we're being encouraged to refer to.
Yeah, I know.
We're gonna have to throw this in the after-action meeting, guys. Why?
Yeah, I'll go along with it for now. Anyway,
just start their own series of pranks on us. Honestly.
Well, Luminosity, as we said, on the offense, and standard setup quad tank for them coming out. And a quad tank for FaZe as well. Surprise, surprise. It's just working their way up the hill. FaZe are not actually leaning towards the server side, just pressuring as they come up the hill, and the shield battle commences, folks. Welcome to quad tank. Just looking for that hook opportunity. Mike not finding anything so far. Ube will be looking for one as well, and he is able to get Forsaken, and that's exactly what Luminosity needs to kick off this fight, though their positioning is not the best. They are on the lower ground. They still have the one pick to initiate with, so, I mean, if they just start to speed in and make things happen, Fact Fiction, though, will initiate himself, and he'll get the nano boost going in for the Earth Shatter. He had an early Earth Shatter to work with. Ube gets hooked back in, but Mike had no bullets left in the chamber to do it, but FaZe are finding the kills nonetheless. And now the nano boost will be used on Spree, but he didn't get all that much. Forsaken goes down yet again by Icefelt. He's had a rough time off the start here, and there will be gravitons on both sides. Zombs is the only one to land on top of it. There is a self-destruct, and I thought I could have gotten quite a few more, but FaZe are getting the kills. And that will be just about a near wipe for FaZe.
It's a confusing space-time situation there. There's two gravitons right next to each other.
Yeah. And that self-destruct looked like it was, I mean, right smack dab in the middle of everything. I thought I was going to pick up at least 4. Shadowburn placed it quite well. I guess the shield cut it in half and didn't do anything, but...
You got 2 ultimates on the side of FaZe Clan, a whole hog and a nano boost. Luminosity with a self-destruct, an Earth Shatter, nano boost, and a whole hog not too far away as well. Sound barrier, a whole lot working in Luminosity's favor. Working through the server room, possibly going to take the high ground and flip the script on FaZe Clan. But now they're going to walk right out of the server room and use it. Here comes the self-destruct flying out of the back line.
Oh, nobody getting caught in it. They escape narrowly. There's a big Earth Shatter from Fact Fiction to come through. That's going to secure 2 kills, but 2 straight back for Luminosity. The sound barrier from Mineral will come out, and maybe a little late. Forsaken is so close to his sound barrier, he may need to use this one. Fact Fiction goes down before he's able to get it off, though, and that's a missed opportunity. Will they be able to convert on any other frags? And, well, it's still just Luminosity keeping that cart moving forward. Forsaken caught inside of the Graviton Surge. That should definitely secure it for Luminosity. And they will get the first checkpoint here. 3 minutes and 10 seconds to move through the next phase of the point. And they will be able to kill a lot of stragglers coming out from FaZe. Sadly, ended up getting that forward spawn, and that will just delay things even further for FaZe to set up a defense, and Luminosity should be able to go through and get high ground advantage.
Yeah, Luminosity already rushing near the space shuttle. Make sure they can take that area away from FaZe Clan. It's one of the pivotal parts of the second stage here. They can also defend the spawn as everybody comes back in. They're just going to get more and more distance out of that the earlier they take it. FaZe Clan's only real option is to push into the low ground, and that is not a good proposition for them. So Luminosity is definitely going to exploit that.
Ooh, Ube getting the hook on the Forsaken. This guy has had such a rough time off the start of Gibraltar. Shadowburn, though, with the self-destruct over the top, gets to Super Pluke using his Earth Shatter to try and bring Luminosity back into the fight, and I think it is working, as that is 3 kills for them, and that is not good news if you're a FaZe Clan fan, as Luminosity has been rolling pretty well here ever since getting that first checkpoint. And it's just Raucous, does land asleep, quickly woken up. FaZe guys are coming back out. There was an Earth Shatter from Fact Fiction, but it didn't really convert on all that much, and Luminosity are still the ones finding the kills despite nano boosts and all sorts of ultimates being used by FaZe, and you want to see more value out of that from FaZe, but they're not getting it, and Luminosity now converting on the second checkpoint. They have 3 minutes to work it all the way into last. They only one ultimate, at least at the moment, but Luminosity with the big one, that's a Graviton, a spree, and they're sneaking around.
So far, Luminosity staying organized. It's not an absolute sweep all the way through, but they're not really being held up all that much, and a Graviton landing in the backside of FaZe.
Oh, very sneaky from Spree, and a good biotic to land on the players on the inside of it. Fact Fiction was pulled out and taken down. Ube with 2 for himself. Zombs goes out of it. And that is just all Luminosity, man. There's nothing FaZe can do to cement themselves in this game. I mean, they're just cruising through Luminosity, but a good play from Spree to wrap around on the backside to get that Graviton off cleanly. And it's one last attempt for FaZe to try and get this one. Super Pluke using that Earth Shatter, gets Mike down in the middle of it. 1-for-1 trade, good charge from Super Pluke, though. Unfortunate for Raucous. There's a self-destruct in the back, but Luminosity have gotten at least 3 kills. The respawns are starting to come through from FaZe. There is going to be a sound barrier out from Forsaken, but I mean, there's really nobody there to take much advantage of it, and it is going to be now a nano boost out onto Super Pluke. Icefelt is getting kills as well. It's not looking good for FaZe. And a self-destruct from Icefelt on top of it just to make sure they zone any stragglers off of the point. And Luminosity now are going to get the cap. 1:44 left in their time bank. Looking very, very solid.
Not a bad time for Gibraltar at all.
Yeah, no, it's pretty good. Forsaken was having a tough time, man.
Yeah, and that last charge by Super Pluke, where he goes up the pipes. I mean, sometimes he'll get stuck on a crack or stairs, and then other times he just flies up a set of pipes like it's a ramp. Poor Raucous, man. I let it in an awe there that wasn't so much for Super Pluke making a great play, so much as just a sympathy pain for Raucous. I felt that right in my chest.
Yeah, I know how it is, man. If that was me, I would have been yelling at my monitor.
Yeah, you would. Even when you're in the office, half expect to see your monitor fly across the room.
I get a little angry sometimes. It's it's part of the game, but
Maid often vacuums up some extra sodium from in and around your desk, I think. That's how I can tell you've been playing competitive.
Oh yeah, you know. Everybody knows it's around here that see me play a video game. But it is now a change in sides. 1:44 for Luminosity as they head to the defense. And I think we're going to be seeing the same thing out of FaZe. At least that's what they're showing so far. Same thing from Luminosity.
FaZe running back-to-back 4 tanks would just be surprising to me.
Well, Icefelt might be on the Tracer. Or, yeah, Tracer. That's a 76. Not a Tracer. I'm just used to seeing him.
Sort of like an older male, chemically beefed up Tracer. I mean, his sprint is a little bit slower, and he doesn't have a rewind, but makes up for that with the Geritol station. Just refreshes up a little bit, no problem.
Yeah, same thing.
Hit him with the arthritis meds and let him loose.
Well, he'll, regardless, be playing that 76. As I expect him to be right up top with Hedan. All the way in the back, as they often do. But Luminosity pretty good opportunity. If they can get a defense going here, that's, you know, a big win over FaZe, who looked great off the start of the series. Not that they're looking bad now, but it's going to be FaZe looking to initiate. Mike missing the initial hook, and well, they do finally get Super Pluke right there. Pull him in, couldn't convert on the kill, though. As still just the poke war, the shield war, really, back and forth. And Super Pluke actually did get taken down by Mike. That should be good initiation for FaZe to come back in, but Mineral able to take down Mike, who Mineral's actually playing on the Diva, a single support composition out from Luminosity on the defensive side. They do get a couple kills for each team. They're trading back and forth, but I think FaZe is getting just slightly the better end of the fight. But now there will be a nano boost out from Shadowburn. I would suspect that should secure the points for them indeed. It does. They do get that first checkpoint. 5 minutes for them to get to the next one. A lot of Luminosity players are caught out of position, so there's a possibility of getting some extra frags right here. And indeed, they're going to. 2 guys caught out. That'll give FaZe a little bit more free time on this payload.
Somewhat of a trend when we see the single healer things. Yep. It works fairly well for a little bit and then just incrementally loses almost by the amount of heals per second that they appear to be missing. Yeah. Interesting plan by Luminosity. I can see how it might work. It didn't work out this time around. Mineral back on Lucio, the Graviton landing for Luminosity. Pluke finding Factor Fiction in the meantime, but other than that, mostly just positional warfare at the moment. FaZe Clan, they have 3 ultimates on their side. Rock's going to go down. Zom's getting pulled in. Ube going to send him back to spawn. Now FaZe Clan, almost 5, almost 6 ultimates. Whether that last assault there gave him any distance whatsoever, it certainly brought a whole lot of power online. Luminosity, nano boost, Earth Shatter on their side.
Oh, what a hook from Mike. The bubble came through clutch from Spree, but man, what a way to initiate the fight for FaZe Clan. They have so many ults to work with. If they don't win this fight, that is very bad news. Rockets gets pulled in though, taken out by Ube. Icefell takes out Zombs. And somehow FaZe, I mean, they didn't really use a lot of ults, to be frank, but still, they had a good opportunity on the fight, but I couldn't convert on any of it. But they still have a lot of ults in the bank, for sure. 4 for them still to work with. And they'll be looking to use some of those and try and find the value, get themselves to this hangar phase.
But Luminosity has Graviton of their own in the high ground. Icefell working on Attack Visor and Ube a whole hog. The positional advantages along with the Graviton, they could get a hold out of this next one, but if FaZe sets the pace and engages first, it's going to be a different story.
Gonna do Mike comes in with that whole hog to get us kicked off, and still have a lot of Luminosity guys just down here on the payload at the moment, just waiting for FaZe to drop down. They're just about to do that. Fact Fiction will lead the charge, but he didn't really have anyone else with him. That's not the best coordination out of FaZe. He just jumped down by himself, and now Sound Barrier comes out from FaZe, and this is just a bit sloppy from the FaZe side. They do nothing with the ultimates that they had, and Luminosity getting a lot of value out of what they had. I mean, just a Graviton, really. But it all went downhill. Factor Fiction jumped down by himself. Nobody from FaZe followed up.
Luminosity, they're dropping the Graviton, and they get basically 4 ultimates out of that whole exchange. And yeah, I see what you're saying. FaZe just allowed Luminosity to get so much of a foothold back into this defense. Whatever momentum they did have is starting to stall out, but they can take that back at any moment if they can find the right picks at the right times. But that's a tall order given the situation. Luminosity burning a whole hog and a nano boost. Perhaps a questionable call on their end, but with 1 minute and 45 left on the clock for FaZe. Never mind, that Earth Shatter is going to be big.
Oh man, Fact Fiction used his own Earth Shatter and got absolutely 0 on it. Now Luminosity getting a big Earth Shatter themselves, as you were saying, with Super Pluke, and that is just cleaning house of FaZe Clan, and they really need to get it going. I mean, they have ults coming back up online, but still, the coordination just seems a bit lacking from them through this hangar phase. And they've been having certainly a tough time, though,
But Luminosity just burned so much for that last one. They're back in a situation where the only thing they have is a Graviton. FaZe Clan, in the meantime, have 4 online. That's enough for them to get through the second stage and earn a little bit more time.
Spree's going to send that Graviton on in. The Biotic Grenade landed on top of Fact Fiction. Mike goes down. Fact Fiction as well. Luminosity have been playing quite a solid game themselves here. Really coordinated throughout the hangar phase, but FaZe finally getting something going here as they find a couple of kills for themselves. As Mineral goes down as well, they use a Graviton onto the remaining players of Luminosity, but there's really not a whole lot of follow-up to be had on the side of FaZe. And Zoms does get the nano boost, but he finds nothing with his Graviton or the nano boost. And FaZe will get a little bit of ground with the cart. They're starting to move it forward, but with 30 seconds left, they really need to bring it home soon. Here is now ultimates up are up from Luminosity, and Spree soon is going to have a Graviton. There is the self-destruct sent over top. There we go. That's exactly what FaZe needed. Shadowburn with 2, Forsaken taking down Icefelt, and now they might be able to bring home this second point. Shadowburn 3 in total, just in the nick of time. Might allow FaZe to get this second point just when they needed it. Shadowburn makes a play with the self-destruct, well placed. And they will have a shot.
The contest is back.
Oh, they are coming back in. Bigger shatter out from Super Pluke. Is there a follow-up there? There's a good Biotic that lands on top of it. Spree with the Graviton landing on top of the cart. Luminosity might just be able to hold this one off, as I don't think anyone from FaZe is going to be around. That's a full team wipe. And Luminosity are able to defend it in the final seconds, getting there just in time with a Graviton from Spree, and they take this one against FaZe 2-1.
That's a huge win for Luminosity. Giving up points against FaZe right now would have been a disaster for them going into the round of 6. Absolutely.
Huge game there. It came down to the wire. It looked like FaZe finally had it figured out there at the end, and then Luminosity's like, no, we're not giving you this.